Welcome to Devon and Chicken Wing Reflects. I might call this one instead of Reacts. See there? Because we're going to reflect on beliefs now. What's something I'm scared of while we wait? I'm scared of telling you what I'm afraid of. All right, here we go. Here we go. Yep, here it is. One more time. Spider, says Roxy. Oh, better my basement then. They love basements, man. They're spiders. They just like mac out in a basement. They're like, dude, it's the basement. All right, hey, let's build a web. Oh no! Now Hillary's freaked out because she's in a basement. All right, well. Hillary's like, no, what are you doing? All right, everybody on the Pear Deck. Let's go ahead and I'm sharing the screen already, I believe, or no, that's the screen Castified. Let me share my screen actually with you guys now. All right, here we go. All right, everybody, welcome back. Looks like we are still missing 2 or 3 people, maybe 4, but we're mostly there. So let's go ahead and get going. So now we're going to switch gears. We did like the logic grid, and we began to talk about the learning targets of going into what we're going to. And like I said, if I go ahead and put on the Pear Deck now, this is where it really gets deep and fascinating, in my opinion. This is where I say I like to, show you the door. But it's up to you whether you walk through or not. Based on what we're going to do, you'll, I think, see what we're talking about. So learning targets we talked about. Let's go to the next one, to our first essential question, please. In your own words, how do you describe belief? And, there's different aspects of belief, right? There's different types of belief. So, but the one that, comes into your head first, how would you describe it? And I got a lot of people going really quick there. So, I got this in. But, I got 10 to 15 people still thinking, too. And that's all right. I want you to let it sink in, because I don't want just like a cursory belief. It's an opinion. Well, to some people it is. But isn't it more? And what could that have to do with walking through the door to the other side? Ooh, a lot of stuff, I think. Oh, see, Andrea is talking about the ocean and how terrifying it is, and Bailey's talking about the sharks. But I used to work on a deep sea fishing boat. I'm actually, quite into ocean stuff. And I remember one of the crew members dared me to jump off the ship, and just to when we were like miles out at sea. I'm like, yeah, I'll do it, and I did. And that was probably the most terrifying moment of my life, because when I was under the water and I looked, and it was just expanse, and it was just like it went on forever, but I couldn't see the bottom, and it was just depth, and depth is scary. All right, let's see what some people are saying. I'm not religious or superstitious or anything, but firstly, I think of religion when I think of belief. Okay, good. No offense to anyone with some sort of faith, because that's amazing to me that someone can put that much devotion to something. I really like where this one's going, actually. I agree with a lot of what you're saying there. And, even if you're not taken by religion, or you're not faithful in a religion, it should be appreciated what religion does for people. And so, really cool depth that you're going into. I appreciate that, Xavier. Belief is the devotion or adaptation of the mind when faced with something. Nice. I like that. The adaptation of the mind. Most of the time, belief is used when talking about religion. Okay, already the first 2 answers are deeper than anything I've gotten into so far this year with anybody. Something you believe in, point blank. And then they go on to say, though, well, it's something you can take refuge to, and something you can devote yourself to. It's diverse. And, that, like I said, yeah, there's a lot of different kinds of beliefs, right? And so I appreciate that, a recognition of the diversity of it. Something you feel is true to you. I really like this one a lot, because, you feel it's true to you, but not necessarily based on facts, though, right? Even though others might not agree with you, it's what you see as truth. And that's where we start to talk about faith and things like that. It's just what you believe in. I don't really have a special definition for this word, except I'm not asking what you believe in. I don't think belief is that. What we're talking about is the act of actually believing in that stuff you believe in. What is that? That's what I'm asking about. Think about it that way. Belief is something you think is real or you hope for. Okay, I see where that one's going. I like it. Looks like something being added, possibly. No, okay. Yeah, and I think that's like a nice succinct one there, because notice the word hope will come up a lot in these, I think. Something I thought for a second it said liver. I would describe belief as something your liver, but it's not. And I don't mean to make fun of anyone's thinking because this is actually a good one. Describe belief as something you live your life by, and absolutely right. And so it's like, boy, think about when we talked about family values and how that connects to that. For example, 10 Commandments and Christians and what they live by, right? Yeah, these are the 10 things that we cannot do or that we must do in order to be led into heaven. Something that humans accept or confide in to be true. Ooh, I like the word confide in that. That's nice because to me, that means that you believe in things with a certain group of people, not just everybody believes it. That group of people believes it. That's really cool. Belief is something that we follow or think is true. It's true in your mind. It doesn't have to be a religion. It can be something small like a value or moral. Absolutely. I'm glad that they pointed that out, that it doesn't have to be a religion, but it's true in your mind. It's not necessarily based on fact. It's that gut feeling almost, right? It's that instinct. It's that intuitiveness. A construct of something you believe in and what you think is true. Oh, I like that one, the way it's worded. Something you believe in, for example, religion. Set of morals you follow. Trust and faith, something we believe in. Acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists. I like that, the way that one's phrased too. I like them all, honestly, but. All right, and 5 people still thinking about it, I guess. Maybe just like, hopefully you weren't uncomfortable talking about what you think of as belief. Because, again, I'm not talking about it has to be like religious based. It doesn't have to be, even morally based. It could just be like, even talking about like, how people believe in conspiracy theories, and like, well, this must be true because you can't prove it's not, but which is a logical fallacy, of course, but we'll get that to another day. All right, thank you. And now let's go into the next question because now we talked about how you describe belief. And boy, I can't think of one that I would say is wrong, I mean, it's not a right or wrong type of answer. And I could think, a few, like the ones that said, it's what you believe in. I'd like you to go a little deeper beyond that because what I'm talking about is what is that act of believing itself? But knowing now what we talked about with belief, think about this in a little bit of a different context. Oh, that's going backwards. Don't do that one. Oh my God, where am I? Here we go. So where do beliefs come from then? Because you're not born believing. In fact, I would say that if you weren't exposed to people, you would not even have beliefs. So where do beliefs come from? Think about, areas like religion, urban myths, what we believe is right and wrong, our biases, who we trust, things like that. That money is the only way to live or something like that. Where do these beliefs come from? Where do we get them? And boy, that one lit up really quick. Boom, a lot of stuff coming in. And I'm going to go to the other screen for a second because I think looking on my left, I think I saw a few people just filtered in real quick. Okay, really? Yeah, I'm doing it right now, Roxy. I was just saying I noticed some people coming in, so I was dropping that right now. There you go. All right, so there's that Pear Deck link. Whatever, I could tell you were mad. Mister, can I get the Pear Deck link? Roxy, I'm joking. I would never upset you. You're a great person. But there it is again, just because. I'm having too much fun. I shouldn't be doing this. I'm supposed to be doing this for a job. Okay, here we go. Right, and isn't that kind of interesting to think of things that way? Because I believe that like a job should be like, not fun or something is what that sounds like. Now we're talking about beliefs. Oh. Anyways, that's going to get into another question. Let's see what people are saying because there's a lot of good stuff coming up. Okay, yeah, absolutely. Parents, culture, social media might be one. Absolutely, social media is one. It not might be, it is. Religion, school. Since there's no believing when you're born and you're taught everything you believe in, I'm sure there's a psychological piece that forces people to theorize, hey, you know what, that's a good segue because we're about to read about some of that and try to figure things out. Like before when religion was discussed, it's a solution of what happens in death. It's not only that, though. Religion is also kind of like to explain the unexplainable. It explains where we come from. It shows why we should treat each other in a certain way. But it also like brings people together. So it's more than just like that one thing. But I see what you're saying, and I think I like where you're going with this. We hadn't discussed with that. Okay, I'm going to have to come back because we do only have a short amount of time. They come from what we hope and want. Ooh, I like that a lot. From what we hope and want. That's deep, dude. I like that. That's good. And it's a way for people to explain things. Oh, boom, what we just said before. Okay, yeah, to explain the unexplainable. I definitely agree with that one a lot. And I like how you like mix religion and science belief, because the Big Bang, here's the thing, it's it's hard. You can't really prove it. It's almost like it's its own religion for science. All right, here we go. Maybe the religion or how we grow up and what's thinking and what we're thinking. Be yourself. Sometimes, yeah, but at the same time, not at first, I would argue. But I see where you're going with that. But like, yeah, and now when you go into later in your answer, anything that can persuade you, you're talking about the outside influences in the world. Like you're talking about your immediate surroundings, and that's what yourself is coming in there. I like that. From our parents, family, friends, and people we talk to, absolutely all of that. People just make up random things and start believing in it. Sometimes that's true, right? I mean, think about like J.K. Rowling. She probably believes that like Harry Potter is real and all that. Wait a minute, he's not. Someone said. Or J.R.R. Tolkien, if you like the true master of that kind of genre, Lord of the Rings, and all that kind of good stuff. And boy, he created a world, right? Beliefs seemingly come out of nowhere, but some come from ideas or other methods. I'd like to go deeper into that, like have you talk about like what you mean by seemingly come out of nowhere, because I think I see where you're going with that, but like but at the same time, usually there is some sort of factual basis to it or somebody influencing it. And like I like what you say about superstitions. Let's see, and then the one on top of that, it's just inside of us. We get it from what we see is where we get our beliefs. Again, that outside influence, like our surroundings, our environment, right? Come from our brains, really. Okay, I mean, bottom line, and the way that your brain may be. Actually, though, that nobody in higher power constructed it unless, of course, you believe that there is a higher power. Well, what about like if you consider like our government a higher power? They push the idea of freedom and that a lot of people believe in, but I would argue we're not as free as we think, or just a natural part of our thinking. Okay, that's good because I think we're going to get into that. Generally formed in two ways: experiences, influences, inductions, or by accepting what others tell us to be true. Really, is that just two? Are experiences, inferences, and deductions one thing? Is that what you're saying? But yeah, I kind of like that. I like that you threw a logic word in there. Beliefs can come from people or things that surround and influence us, like teachers. Absolutely. They can also come from what we really want. Oh, I like that. And so almost like your goals can make you believe something, like maybe believe in yourself if you can like achieve something. Your surroundings is good. And yeah, good thinking here. Good thinking, guys, girls, men, women, children. I don't know what I'm doing now. Anyways, we're going to go to Actively Learn now. So we're going to do it through Google Classroom. Don't follow the link on the slide. It doesn't work. So let me go ahead and take you back into Google Classroom. We are going to do sentence, phrase, word with this, but not today, okay? Because here's the deal. This is actually a pretty long read I'm about to give you. Thread. I just looked at the chat, and so that's what I'm saying that too. Nickel. Oh, you're talking about Golem. Okay. You're talking about Bilbo and Golem doing the riddle. Okay. Never mind. I so enjoy that you guys went there after I'd like brought that up, though, in just one sentence. Fantastic. That's why you guys have A's for the day. All right. Anyways, going into the week of February 8th again. If you want to open up your sentence, word, and phrase organizer so that you can paste and copy and paste a sentence, phrase, and word that you find alluring today, that's fine. There will be time on Thursday, but if you want to just get out of the way, not a bad idea. So you can go ahead and open that up. But mainly, I want you to go ahead and go into beliefs. Why do we have them, and how did we get them? Notice what I have in the instructions here. This reading will be conducted over 2 days, so don't rush to finish today. I'm not asking you to do that. I don't want you to. In fact, I'd rather you read slower and deliberate over what you're reading. Because I don't want you to just go like speed read through it and then forget the first 3 quarters of what you read. This is some heavy stuff coming at you, and a lot of it we're going to be like referring to for the rest of the year. So let's go ahead and follow that link to actively learn to the reading we have today. As I'm actively loading. And what I'm going to do is after I start this, I'm going to stop this particular recording and upload it to the YouTube channel. So if you guys want to unmute and say hi to make sure that your voices are heard, you can do that. And that you'll be on the bone-in chicken wing reads is what we'll call this one, maybe. Bone-in chicken wing reads beliefs. Right? Yeah. For those of you who like gets into flight reacts or anything like that, that's pretty good, I think, right? Okay. All right. Anyways, here's a poll, and some of you already started. Okay, rarely to never surprises me with this group, especially that this group would never consider where their beliefs come from. Surprises me, but at the same, especially just looking at the answers that we did, right? And some of you are only a slim margin as always. But with that being said, there's 7 or 8 questions total in this. Okay, what I'd like to say is, like, in the time I'm going to give you, let's try and get to number 4. I'm going to basically do like 23 minutes on the clock because it's not quite 25, and I want a couple minutes for the exit ticket and the discussion question later. I started that timer, and I'll be in there with you in real time, giving you feedback, grading your answers, letting you know how you're doing. And if you have a question, just drop it in the chat, or unmute your mic, or send me an email, and I will respond as promptly as possible. Are there any questions before we start on what we're doing? Caitlin, that's fine. Do you need the Pear Deck link again? Okay, and then you saw that we're in Actively Learn now, right? All right, you're cool. Now, Mr. After told me he was going to be doing this. I was aware. You're cool. All right, everybody. I'm going to mute my mic so I don't interrupt anybody's private reasoning time.